In the Factor follow-up segment tonight, remember when Bill said this back in June?
The USA should begin bombing the al-Qaeda army as soon as possible. We don't need any more meetings. Let's send a message that terrorists remain targets. Al-Qaeda is our enemy. You know, I feel like I'm lecturing fourth graders here.
We've been bombing Iraq for 25 years. We had 4 presidents bomb Iraq. It does not work. 2, we've got 600 special operations guys on the ground. That's combat soldiers on the ground already. But the bombing we're doing now is absolutely ineffective.
Well, we know that Bill was right. Over the weekend, U.S. forces successfully carried out airstrikes against ISIS near the Mosul Dam in northern Iraq. Those terrorists are now on the run, but some here at home don't want U.S. involved militarily in Iraq at all. Joining us now with reaction from Washington, Medea Benjamin, co-founder of Code Pink. Ms. Benjamin, so we saw targeted airstrikes. We pushed back ISIS. The Kurds are breathing easy, and certainly the people downstream from that Mosul Dam are breathing very easy. Bad idea?
Well, Eric, this is a Pyrrhic victory, just like the victories we heard when the U.S. first invaded Iraq in 2003, and like we heard at the NATO and U.S. strikes in Libya, where we were supposed to liberate that country and left them with a failed state that exports jihadists all over the region.
Ms. Benjamin, you're not questioning the effectiveness of this, though, are you? I mean, ISIS had the Mosul Dam. They had it. They had control over it. We came in here, we did targeted airstrikes and allowed the Kurds and some of the Iraqi army to come in and retake that dam. There are thousands of people who are downstream of that dam who could have been killed if we didn't do that.
The U.S. involvement is counterproductive, Eric, because what it's doing is emboldening ISIS, actually, getting more recruits from around the world.
They're on
and
the
it's
run.
telling these Sunnis that the U.S. is involved to support the Shia, very repressive government that's still in Baghdad. What we need to do is make sure that there's a real change in the government in Baghdad so that the political grievances of the Sunni population are heard.
Wait. What do you mean? Make sure there's a political change. And didn't we already do that? Didn't we make a political change in Baghdad? Didn't we arm the Iraqi army to the tune of 200,000 soldiers or so with a ton of equipment, a ton of assets? I mean, are you sure? How do you do that? Just ask them?
Well, ask yourself, Eric, what has come of the $20 billion we invested in the Iraqi security forces and why they are unable to fight. They're not able to fight because they're not invested in a clean, democratic government. And then the most important thing, Eric, is the Sunni population that has joined ISIS because of the corruption
I'm not in favor of going back in with troops on the ground risking more American lives. I'm not in favor of that. I'm all for these targeted airstrikes to help the Kurds and the Iraqis fend for themselves. Do me a favor, guys. Hold on, just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I think the game has changed with ISIS. Take a look at this picture that's been circulated, and we believe it's from an ISIS fighter standing outside in front of the White House, taking a picture of the White House, and underneath it, understand it reads, "In your state, in your streets, we're coming to America." Doesn't that scare the bejesus out of Ms. Benjamin of Code Pink?
I think we have the largest army in the world. We have the largest security state, the NSA, the FBI, the CIA, that is supposed to protect us here at home. And then, Eric, I think there's a lot of other things we could do to stop ourselves from becoming a target not only for ISIS, but al-Qaeda and other extremists. For example, we could stop our support for repressive regimes in the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, like Bahrain, like the Egyptian government that came to power through a coup, like the Israeli government that has just been seen to kill thousands of innocent Palestinians.
That a radical Islamist group like Boko Haram will take hundreds upon hundreds of innocent women and young girls and kidnap them and sell them into slavery. Does that bother you? And should we do anything about that, or just say, not our problem?
Of course it does. Just like I am bothered by the 40,000 people rotting in Egyptian jails while the U.S. is cozying up to that coup regime. Just like it bothers me that the U.S. is funding the Israeli government while it goes in and wipes out thousands of innocent Palestinians and continues the siege on Gaza. Innocent Palestinians? I got to stop you right there. We're running out of time. You just call the Palestinians innocent? Will you talk about, I assume you mean even the UN says
as opposed to Hamas,
of the people who were killed are innocent Palestinians.
Ms. Benjamin, the Palestinians, hold on. The Palestinians elected Hamas to their parliament. Hamas is firing rockets at Israel. I wouldn't call them innocent. I got to go, Ms. Benjamin. Thank you very much. Another time we'll take that back up. Up next, we head to Ferguson, Missouri with a live update.